Hello, RoahmMythril here once again, and it's time for another Talky Bit video. We're going to discuss some things that have been going on and such, and once again, we're going to enjoy some relaxing, placid plastic ducks. So, in the background, I'm going to be trying to get an achievement that I'm missing. So, we're going to go over to Quacking the Ice, and I'm going to turn off all of the duck packs, except for the brand new one, Duck Addiction. I haven't looked at any of the ducks in this one just yet, so we'll see what shows up. It's my hope that one of the ducks in this pack is Fire Elemental, a weird thing to say, but it actually makes sense. I need it for the achievement I'm missing here. So yeah, no matter what packs you have active, the yellow duck is always your starter. But what I need to do is light this torch back here in the pool, so I need something with fire to do that. So let's just sit back and relax. As you can see, the holiday decorations are gone, so yep, it's just an average day at the ski lodge, with ducks. Okay, so as far as stuff that's been going on, obviously it has been a while since the last upload. I can't deny that fact. It's one of those times where time just feels like it's going way too fast and not in a good way. For me, it does not feel like it has been that long since the last video. But obviously the proof is there, and that's kind of upsetting. To have this feeling of, it hasn't been that long. Oh, it's been 3 or 4 weeks. Oops. So yeah, that's not a great feeling. And the reason it doesn't feel like it's been that long is that time has been pretty packed and, for the most part, not in great ways. A lot of it has involved friends and family and just continued health problems. Like, my own thankfully was taken care of. I got the crown put back on my tooth, so thankfully that's taken care of. But there have been so many things going on. In my circle of friends, I have 2 that have had personal health problems that have been continuing for a while, 2 that have had family health problems going on for a while, and 1 that has had both, and that one is kind of the major one. Okay, not quite sure what was with that sudden camera angle change. But, oh, crossword duck. See, Discord. Tonfo? Not sure what all is on this duck, but I did see Discord. So, anyway, yeah, like I said, I have one friend who has had health problems as well as family health problems, and their own was a really bad one. They had a cancer scare. They had to go in for a screening, and a tumor was found, and they had to go in for surgery for that. Now, those who've been with me for a long time know that, I mean, cancer is horrible no matter what, but I've had my own personal dealings with it due to my own family, where I lost my aunt, her husband, and my mum all to different types of cancer. So it's... having a friend that was going through that was a terrifying feeling. Just this feeling of, oh gods, not again. Not this again. On their own end, of course, it's terrifying having it confirmed that you have this, but also it was the first time they had to go in for any kind of surgery whatsoever. So I was kind of trying to be there for them as best I could. It's the kind of thing... I wish I had the means and money to travel. I would have gone there to support them in person if I could have, but unfortunately, that's just not in the cards. So I tried to be as supportive as I could just through online means. You know, thank gods we at least have that. It does not want me to just enjoy sitting in the chair. Very strange. Oh, what we have here? This duck has been slimed. But, I'd had some, experience with surgery myself due to the appendectomy. And so, my friend had questions, things they'd never experienced, things like, what is it like to be put fully under? That was a scary thought for them. And I told them from my own experience, it really didn't feel like anything. I mean, I'm not entirely sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing that I had almost no time to consider the fact I was going in for surgery. I got to the ER, they examined me and said, we have to take you in for emergency surgery, like now, your appendix has ruptured. So I didn't really have any time to think about it. They put me on a gurney, they were wheeling me back to the OR, and next thing I know, I was waking up in the recovery room. So I don't actually remember them specifically giving me anything to put me under, or the feeling of going under. It just happened. And I think that's how it was for them, too. I don't remember them saying anything about really feeling that. So the good news in all of this is the surgery basically went the best we could hope for. The tumor was removed. Doesn't seem like there's anything really lingering, but it's the kind of thing that, of course, there's a lot of follow-up appointments to do. They have to do a bunch of oncology visits, and they had their first one of those. Thankfully, it still sounds like things are good. I don't know if it's an automatic screensaver thing or what, but it's kind of distracting. Wonder if that's a new feature. Maybe you can turn it off in options or something. But anyway, ducks can be distracting, which is kind of a good thing because it helps me get through all of this. But yeah, their oncology visit, thankfully it sounds like things are still doing good. No sign of anything having spread or popping up again, so, knock wood that it stays that way because, God, that's just a terrifying thing. So, of course, beyond that, there's also the family issues of my cousin dealing with Alzheimer's, which, unfortunately, that doesn't go away. Oh, it's like a sewing pattern. Cool. My mom used to do a lot of sewing and making stuffed animals and such, so that kind of gives me good memories. So, yeah, my cousin, he's still dealing with Alzheimer's. It was actually his birthday today. I got him some DVDs, some Clint Eastwood movies. He likes him, and also some documentary type stuff about like old weapons, warships, things like that. That's the kind of stuff he enjoys watching. He likes history documentaries and such. I had actually thought his birthday was 2 days ago, just, I think, in a flustered state I was given the wrong date, and, I mean, better to think it's earlier than it is than later than it is, and thus not have things ready on time. So, at least that went well. But, of course, we're still just doing the best we can, learning to cope with his memory problems, and just taking care of him as best we can, making him as comfortable as we can. Well, the sky's all cloudy, so I can't see... Oh, there it is. Yep, plane going through. It's the kind of thing... I'm hoping we're doing the right thing. Because no one wants to put him in a home. We don't want to do that. He already has so many, like, dissociative episodes being here in the house that he's been in as long as I've been here, so at least around 40 years. And there are times that he just can't really remember where he is. I can't imagine that being any better if we were to take him to, like, an assisted living facility. But at the same time, maybe that is what's best for him, and it's a horrible thing to think about, because then you start feeling like you're just abandoning him, and I don't want to do that. It also doesn't help that long time ago, one of our elder relatives, their more direct family did decide to put them in a home, and it was the kind of home that you hear very bad things about, where there's neglect and abuse, and it's an absolute horror story that we don't want to put my cousin through. Party duck with a sparkler. It is smoking. Wonder if that does count as fire element. But you're going to the ice rink anyway. From the looks of it, slowly approaching. Which means sooner or later you'll end up in there with a torch and we'll see if it works out. But, yeah, as it goes, we're trying to make my cousin as comfortable as he can be. I know the whole situation is scary for him, it's frightening for him, it's frightening for us. And we're just doing the best we can, taking everything just a day at a time. That's all we can do. And all this stuff going wrong, it has been fueling a bout of depression in me. So, that's super fun. It's the kind of thing I'm trying to be more open about rather than bottling it up, because that is what I have done for most of my life when dealing with realizing I had depression and everything, is I kept it quiet. I don't like to make people worry about me. But I'm trying to be a little more open about it where I can, and spend time with friends and just kind of try and find good ways to deal with it as best I can. I had been in talks with my doctor, my family doctor, about it once, and the possibility of going on some form of antidepressant. I think they referred to it as an inhibitor of some sort. But I think I kind of scared myself out of that. And it's nothing against anybody that they do legitimately help, because I know they are legitimately good for some people. But I have heard from an acquaintance that has been on antidepressants that it's kind of a weird thing, that you don't have the low lows anymore, but you don't have the high highs anymore either. And they also said that they felt that it made them less empathetic toward others, and I don't really want it doing that to me. It's kind of a scary thing to think of a medicine kind of messing with your brain chemicals and possibly changing who you are on some level. It's kind of a worrisome thought to me. And again, if it's something that that you legitimately feel would help you, if it's something you're going through, by all means, ask about it, find out more, get information. Just because it's not quite right for me doesn't mean it might not be right for you, but just go in informed is all I'm really saying. I feel like in my case what would work better for me is if I had the money or the means to go and actually visit a therapist, the type where, you kick back, talk about your problems, work through them that way. I think that would have more effect for me, but unfortunately, I just do not have the money or the means for that. It's just not in the cards. But it'd be interesting to see if I could get anywhere with that. But yeah, like I said, I don't have the funds for it. Even if I had the money, I don't know where a good therapist around here is. I'm sure we have one, but I don't know where they are, and even then, I wouldn't really have a way to get there for appointments, so I'm just kind of in that position of just trying to get through it a day at a time. It's all I really can do. So, all this aside, there was another problem that came up. HughesNet found a fun new way to break. So to explain all this, I am going to have to explain the mechanics of HughesNet a little bit, the account that I have. So, we have this thing called the bonus period. This is a replacement for what used to be the free period in the early days of HughesNet, where we had an oh-so-generous daily bandwidth of 300 megabytes, and actual free bandwidth unlimited from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m., hence my being a night person. So during that period, you could get whatever you wanted, download whatever you wanted, upload whatever you wanted, and there was no limit. It was nice. And then Usenet in their infinite wisdom decided, nah, we need to limit that too. So now we have the bonus bytes period. So let's use my subscription plan as an example. We currently have a monthly bandwidth plan of 100 gigabytes per month total. 50 gigabytes anytime usage, 50 gigabytes bonus bytes. The bonus bytes period is from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. Any bandwidth you use outside of those hours, that comes from the anytime pool. And once that's gone, that's it until the next month. You get throttled. You aren't forbidden from doing anything on the internet, it just goes super slow at that point. Any bandwidth you use during the bonus bytes period comes from the bonus bytes pool. Once that's gone, it actually starts trying to draw from the anytime pool. What do we got here? A shark duck. Jawsome. It dips underwater and you just get the fin. Cool. So, anyway, that's how the bandwidth works. Well, back in February, something weird happened on the control panel. I noticed that the time shown for the bonus bytes period changed. And it wasn't even on the hour anymore. It suddenly showed up as being from 6:07 p.m. to 7 after midnight. So, that was weird. But everything was still working properly other than that. Then suddenly our bandwidth plan changed from 100 gigabytes total per month to 400 megabytes per month. Tell me how that's supposed to be reasonable in this day and age. So I looked into it. We get our HughesNet connection through DishNet, and it turns out DishNet got hit with a cybersecurity attack back in February, and it messed up their systems real good. So, I call HughesNet to try and get an answer as to what is going on. I'm gonna go sit in here and wait for the ducks to arrive, see if they actually do light the torch. But anyway, though, yeah, I called HughesNet tech support. They told me that since we go through DishNet, I had to call them. Okay, so I call them. They're still in panic mode trying to fix whatever was going on. But I get in contact with their tech support, and I ask them, well, what's happening? And I tell them the issues I'm having. And they say that, well, first they get my account information. Then they put me on hold for a while. And then they come back and says, well, we're just the tech support for the TV accounts with DishNet. The people in charge of the internet accounts, they're not here right now due to us trying to figure out what happened during the cybersecurity attack, and there's the torch lit, and so we got the hot tub achievement. Excellent. Kind of glad we actually got this on camera. It's very cozy looking. But so, yeah, he tells me that due to their ongoing investigation of the cybersecurity attack, the people in charge of tech support for the internet accounts aren't in for reasons. And they're not going to tell me when they're going to be back, or how much longer this is going to take, so it's just left at that. So, yeah, that was fun. Oh, what do we have here? Oh! I always thought metallic blue looks really nice. And so just this very shiny blue and all these stars, that's cool, I like it. So, there wasn't really anything I could do, and 400 megs a month, that was gone almost immediately, and so we were throttled. I couldn't really upload anything with that kind of a connection. So a couple of days pass, and then I suddenly notice on the control panel that our bonus bites period was back to the time period it's supposed to be, and we weren't getting weird messages anymore, because during all of this, I was getting strange messages like the bonus period starts in -5 hours. How's that supposed to work? But so it at least looked like things were changing, and then came the time where our bandwidth was supposed to refresh. Midnight ticks over, and it refills us to 400 megabytes. But then, a little bit later, once the bonus bytes period hit, it actually refilled to what it was supposed to be, so it did finally get fixed. But it was an annoying and frustrating situation. I'm sure it is for them too with the cybersecurity attack, but it was just very inconveniently... It was very inconvenient. It was a mess. And it was a mess that got us looking into something else. So people have asked me before if Starlink was an option in my area. And it's not. Yet. Supposedly, it is supposed to be in our area later this year. We don't know when, though. Just that it's coming in 2023. We went ahead and pre-ordered the package for actually installing it once it is available. So that'll be on its way eventually. And hopefully we can actually get Starlink and it may actually be a better connection for us. So here's hoping. It would be really nice if that worked out. But yeah, it'll be a while before we know. So with that, let's talk some better things that have been going on. A good friend of mine has wanted to get into DMing for Dungeons & Dragons, and they invited me to join the party and see what it was like. They knew that I had had a bad first experience with D&D. My formative experience with it was back when I was attending Full Sail. One of the classes I had was instructed by one of the creators of D&D, Dave Arneson. A new duck is almost here. Just leave me up here. So, one of the lab classes we did was a D&D session. And it went about as well as you could expect a D&D session with basically no prep time and lasting for about 2 hours to go. Which is to say, not great. We had pre-made characters that we were to use from just basically worksheets. And I was a wizard, and I didn't really get to do anything. So it wasn't a great first experience. Oh! A knight. Cool. I like it. I had names turned off, but apparently... some of the ducks don't agree with that, so I have the woodcutting duck Quack down there somewhere. Yes, I have started naming some of the ducks. It can get a little bit cluttered when they all show up, but still it's fun to name them. I just don't know why some names are showing up and others aren't. Kind of weird. But it is what it is. So anyway, though, I've joined in on this session, and I've actually been having a really good time with it thus far. As far as character creation, I'm still kind of new to everything, so I basically did a taking inspiration type character. I'm a big fan of the card game Red Dragon Inn, and so one of my favorite characters to play there is Wrench, the kobold artificer. And so that's basically what I'm using in this session. I'm a kobold tinkerer by the name of Oxide, and his lizard construct by the name of Alloy. And it's been quite fun. Due to one particular ridiculous row, a high roll during a scene where we were trying to basically run through a crowded town street, and we just needed to get through as quickly as possible. I rolled surprisingly high on that, and as such we determined that at sufficient speeds, Alloy can basically Tokyo Drift, and also comes with a playlist of Eurobeat songs. So, yeah, I've been having a good time. I believe we're having another session this coming Tuesday. I think that's basically the day where it works out for most of us. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, I've mostly been doing just kind of some self-care gaming. Yep, there's Lumberquack. You know me and puns, I can't resist. I think the one I'm most proud of is there's a mountain rescue dog duck, and I named it St. Canard. I'm unreasonably proud of that one. So, yeah, I've been doing a lot of kind of self-care gaming just for my own fun and stress relief. And one of the biggest stress reliever games out there is just Musu games. I love those. So, I actually got Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate for PS4, though I'm playing it on the PS5. Yay, backwards compatibility. But I've been having a lot of fun with that. Just something about playing as somebody, just going to town and just taking out a bunch of enemy soldiers, thousands at a time. It is very much good stress relief, so that's been nice. I've also been playing Metroid Prime Remastered, and it's interesting how often my memory is failing me. Whoa, what? Excuse me? Virtual Duck? Wow, okay, wasn't expecting that. That was a complete derailment. That was an interesting one. First person mode duck, okay. But yeah, playing through Metroid Prime Remastered, there are so many things I feel like I remember from the original game that either apparently I've invented through whole cloth, because, like, there's this kind of water feature on a room in the Chozo ruins that I thought there was something I could do with that, but I can't seem to make anything happen there. Similarly, there's a room in Magmoor Caverns that I thought I could blow up a wall and there was a power bomb in there, but I can't seem to find that. So, yeah, that's a weird one. And also, there are a lot of things that I thought I remembered being in the game that were actually in Metroid Prime 2. I honestly hope that Prime 2 gets the remaster treatment. I know it's a divisive opinion. I personally kind of like Prime 2 more than Prime 1. They're both good games, but I like Prime 2 a little bit more. I'd also like to see Prime 3 get a remaster, but that one I guess they'd have to do from ground up due to the forced motion controls. So, yeah, there is that. As far as other gaming, I would like to work on training more Pokemon on Scarlet and Violet, but, yeah, there's apparently, reportedly, a bug going on there that people are claiming it's deleting or corrupting their save files, and it's difficult to get reliable information on this one. Because a lot of the information out there is kind of fear-mongering, kind of clickbait, and worded very dishonestly in some ways, like some of the news articles about it, saying that a lucky few haven't been hit with this bug, when it's the other way around. It's an unlucky few that have been hit by it. Because it's like maybe hundreds out of the tens of thousands of people that are playing the game that have gotten hit with this bug. And even then, reports of what caused it are mixed. Some say it has to do with the Pokemon Go connectivity that lets you exchange postcards, get new Vivian forms, and lets you go after roaming Gimmighoul in Pokemon Go. Others say it has to do with pre-ordering the DLC. And others say it's not either of those things, and it's just the latest patch in general that's causing the problem. And yet, most players aren't experiencing it, period. And a lot of people, like bigger names in the Pokemon community, have been trying to recreate the bug with no luck. And even with the various people who report it happening to them, nobody's been able to provide a corrupt save file so that people can study it and figure out what's going on. So it's hard to find good information on this, and it just kind of has me in this frozen point of, it seems unlikely that I'd get hit by it, but what if? And that's unpleasant. Yes! Luchador duck. Beautiful. I love it. So, apparently there is a patch for Scarlet and Violet coming in late April. Whether it will fix this or not, or whether it will cause all kinds of new problems, who knows? I guess we'll find out then. I just kind of wish there was some official word on it as to what's going on or anything like that, but apparently no official word has come on what the deal is with the save file corruption. There haven't really seemed to have been any new reports of it happening as of late, so again, it's just a weird one. And I wish I could find more reliable information. So one more game I do want to cover here is Battle Network Legacy Collection. People have asked me a few questions about that here and there. First off, if I'm getting it, I actually am, thanks to a good friend of mine. A quick shout out to B-Dolphin, who reserved the game for me as a late Christmas gift, so I will have that coming in April, and I'm looking forward to that. People have also asked if I'm going to be holding off on playing more of Battle Network 5 until Legacy Collection arrives, and then resume using that. And no, I have not been delaying the project in relation to Legacy Collection. It's been all the stuff I've been talking about earlier. I will be sticking to the Game Boy Advance games for doing the Battle Network LPs, with one bit of an exception when it comes to Battle Network 6 whenever I get to that, is toward the end I will actually probably show some footage from Legacy Collection to go into the content that was cut from the international release of Battle Network 6, because apparently that's getting added back in. Come to think of it, does anybody know if the Battle Network 1 version on Legacy Collection has the Operation Shooting Star stuff, the Clockman scenario? Because I'd like to be able to play that, but I don't know if that's on there. So as far as actually recording stuff, I'm still stuck messing with Cuphead, and oh man, both of the fights I still need to record are frustrating in their own ways. There's the Jimmy the Great fight, which the hidden phase on that fight just makes the already hardest phase of that fight even harder. But I feel like I am learning it a bit more. I feel like I'm closer to getting a successful recording run of that. Meanwhile, there's the Howling Aces. Getting into the hidden phase on that one is proving surprisingly difficult, because you have to be very precise with the damage you do, and I had what I thought might be some cunning plans. None of them worked. I always did too much damage, and thus took the dogs out rather than just getting them to the gray smoke range. So I haven't really figured out a good strategy for doing that, and I'm open to suggestion on that if anybody has any ideas of what might be a safer way, preferably a quicker, safer way to get through that phase and get into the hidden phase. Because, stubborn me, I am still trying to get an A+ rank on this even with the hidden phases. I almost feel like my best bet is still using Spread, but it is so easy to go overboard with that. I have tried Chaser, which, A, does very little damage and still can stack on too quickly and take a dog out rather than just weakening them. Charge didn't work well. Crack Shot didn't work well. So, yeah, I'm just not really sure what the best option would be. I feel like Pea Shooter would be too weak as well. So I'm just not really sure on that. Oh! Steampunk. Nice. I love steampunk aesthetic. It is so good. So, with Cuphead being in this position, I'm kind of wondering if I should... I'm so bad at juggling projects, but I almost wonder if I should go back to Battle Network 5 for a while. Because, obviously, it's the kind of thing that always was stressful for me about working on perfect runs, is so often I would go weeks at a time with nothing to show for it, and it always felt frustrating. And I think that's maybe one reason why I kind of got a little bit burned out on them. I do want to return to them at some point, but there are so many frustrating things about them that kind of make me a bit gun-shy about going back to them, I guess. But that's also kind of what's going on with Cuphead right now, is it's a situation of, I am working on it, but I don't always have something to show for it just because the nature of the beast with challenge runs where I'm trying to get these A+ ranks. So that's basically where recording is for now. But with that, I think I've basically covered everything I really want to talk about right now. I just wanted to get something up on the channel. I realize it's been a while, longer than it feels like it's been for me, and I needed to go ahead and put something up, and so just want to let everyone know what's going on, keep people posted. I tend to be more active posting on my social media, it's just easier. So things like Twitter and Tumblr, especially Twitter, I tend to make more updates there as to what's going on. So, one more thing I do want to go ahead and point out here, my good friend Neo, he has started taking commissions, so I'm actually going to post links to his social media in the video description, so if you want to commission him for some artwork, definitely go check him out. He has done so many great things for my channel, and I hope to actually commission him for some more work in the future. I just have to figure out finances and all that, because, you know, I want to pay him fairly. And at the current point in time, about all I can really do is, as much as we hate the phrase pay you an exposure, I do kind of want to get his name out there just because it's the right thing to do, because he does such good work. He has done so much for my channel, for the projects on here, and I just want to show my appreciation in what ways I can. And so if I can send some business his way, I really want to do that. So yeah, if you want to get some beautiful, colorful artwork done, go check him out. But with that, I think that's where I'm going to cut this. So thank you very much for watching. I really hope to get something done soon and posted, which I guess we are approaching April 1st, so you know what that means. That's going to be coming pretty soon. So at least there should be a guaranteed video then. But I do hope to actually get back to work on one project or another pretty soon, get some stuff uploaded. And so, thank you for your continued support. It means the world to me. And I shall see you again next time. Until then, Virtual Duck! Seriously wonder if that code is supposed to actually mean anything. I wonder if that's the same code, if it just repeats? No idea. Target acquired lumber quack. Nice. Ducks!